Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at the good things coming for you in April. We're talking about something cool you could find, an interesting conversation, maybe potentially a romantic interest, or something that's going to evolve from that. Whatever it is, we're going to be discussing it in today's video. Now, normally, I am all about keeping this honest and talking about the good and the bad. In fact, actually, if there is something bad, I like to talk about it in order to warn you guys or find a more helpful solution instead of, dealing with the shock of it. But I think it's important right now if we hyper-focus on the good. It's nice to have things to look forward to and have that more helpful perspective at this point in time. I wanted to also thank you guys so much for the positive reception with the meditation video. I'm so glad we're on the same mindset of where we would like to put our attention. In fact, actually, in addition, just being very appreciative and thankful. Thank you guys so much. I love your messages and everything. It really means a lot to me. I want you to practice something or consider practicing it. You don't have to, but consider doing it throughout this month. If you have a moment where you're feeling afraid or your thoughts are racing in a way that's just not helpful, it's not getting you any closer or further to a goal, it's just kind of bogging you down, I want you to imagine a version of yourself, a very young version. We're going to say like 4 years old. And when you're feeling that way, I want you to pretend that version of yourself runs up to you out of nowhere, grabs your face in the palm of their little tiny hands, squeezes your face cheeks together, and yells in your face with their little high-pitched voice and says, "Raise your vibrations! Choose love! You've got this! You're almost there!" Put that into your soul. Give that your attention. Give that your focus. And also, somehow, it's easier to receive messages when we know it's coming from a deep part of us, when we are our own cheerleader, you could say. I hope that's helpful and kind of gets you in a better spirit to do something that's more proactive and kind of moves you forward and puts you in a better place, honestly. So, going back to our video though, as you can see, we have 4 groups in front of us. We have our little mermaid here with pyrite. We have tiger's eye with our little cute girl over here. We have mookite with our magical eye. We have our crystal ball with our rose quartz. I'm going to give you a moment to pick the group you resonate with most. Now that you have, you can go down to the description where you can skip to your designated group with the marked timestamp, and let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's find out the good things coming for you in April by looking at the cards. We have 7 of Cups in reverse, Knight of Cups upright, 5 of Pentacles upright, 7 of Swords upright, and Temperance in reverse. Let me pull another card for Temperance. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune upright. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing that stands out to me is the angel number 422. So that has a dualistic meaning. On one hand, it talks about the idea that your spirit guides are nearby. Now, they don't just want to let you know that they're nearby to be like, hey, reassurance, we're here. It's more to let you know that they're there in order to support you. Because with the second meaning of 422, it talks about the idea of your spirit guides wanting you to connect and understand that you have the power to shape and control your life the way you want it to. They want you to be really proactive this month, and when you either set up a boundary because you don't like something, or you go out of your way to make something happen, they're there to actively, make sure it happens, like move things around or reinforce barriers you want. So this is a time period in April where you want to really decide, what do you like and what do you don't like, and not sit back and let life just happen. Speak up, take action. Don't be afraid to put lines in the sand, and do not be afraid to say, well, I want that. Even if you feel like, well, I don't know if I can, like a self-confidence barrier, or well, they said they like them. No, this is the time to kind of realize you're more in control and find a sense of empowerment during this time period, which is awesome. And they're basically saying, listen, we're here, we're going to make moves, we're going to make it happen, but you need to kind of be the pilot to your life. We'll happily be the plane or the boat, however you want to see the metaphor. Now, going forward, there's two main things I'm seeing. First, let's talk about the someone in your life. Now, it looks like when we have the Seven of Cups over here in reverse, it looks like in the beginning of the month, potentially happening at the end of this month, there seems to be a couple people kind of reaching out to you. This, to be honest with you, feels way more of a like less in person thing. Like it doesn't go very far the other options. It's not like you're dating multiple people. This is like talking to them on apps or like social media, or maybe when you see them in person, they kind of give you the eye and you are aware they're into you, and you have a couple people letting themselves know they're into you. So really great, confident, way to feel good about yourself in the beginning of the month, knowing so many people are drawn to you. But someone kind of comes out of the woodwork and they let you know they're into you, and you decide, you're like, yep, I'm into you too. And something kind of starts there. Now, I'm not getting a lot of information of where it's going, what it's meaning, is this the one, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be honest with you. But I will tell you that it is unexpected. It does not feel like someone you've considered or really known before. This is somebody that's truly going to, they kind of don't even, how do I say this? This isn't a secret admirer situation. This is like you're studying in a library and then someone notices and thinks you're cute in that moment, and they didn't even know they were looking for anyone, and they unexpectedly make a move towards you and let you know they like you in a way they don't normally with other people they're interested. So it's a little unexpected for them as much as it's unexpected for you. And I'm definitely, spirit guides are showing me it would definitely be within, it's like hard because like a library is the best example. It's like you're within a building I'm seeing, and it would be in a space where many people would run into each other, like a library. Like, we're not talking a restaurant, we're not talking a coffee shop, we're talking like some sense of like a communal area or whatever. Either way, there's not a lot of people there. They run into you, they say hi, you get the deal. So anyways, I wanted to pull a few cards real quick because I kind of wanted to understand their personality type so you can better identify them. Oh, interesting. Okay, some things to note here. They're not really in the best place of their life right now. Nothing to worry about, nothing like negative or bad, just more, sometimes people feel stuck in life, and that's not a crime. Like over here, I can see in the Nine of Cups in reverse, they're just like not really happy, like nothing's really, it's like they have a job, they have a place to live, they fulfill the requirements of something you would like in another partner, but just, I don't know, nothing's like really getting them going right now. They're not really in love with what they're doing, and that happens in life sometimes. I can tell they're unfocused right now. They're having trouble really getting that inner motivation in order to go find out what they want because they're not really sure, and so it feels like it's draining them a little bit, so they're like, oh, I don't know. And then over here I can see with Page of Wands, it just kind of repeats the idea that they're just not really taking a hold of anything. They don't really have any ideas. They're not going out of their way to make anything happen. So they're just kind of in a displaced place in their life. It kind of feels like they're wandering around. One day they choose to, again, we're just going to keep using a library as an example. They choose to wander into one. They're not really motivated. They see you and you kind of get their little spark going, if you know what I mean, and kind of make them at least feel somewhat focused and motivated in life, which is fun and exciting. But then the other thing I'm seeing majorly happening in April is it seems like, so you start the beginning of the month, definitely struggling a little bit. This is more, I mean, this struggling, I don't want to freak you out. Like, it's nothing terrible, but sometimes we just don't have the energy, or like we talked about with before with this other person, where maybe a little off, or it could be a mindset. Like, often Five of Pentacles talks about a lacking mindset. It doesn't mean you necessarily have less. It just means that's your focal point. That's where you're putting your attention. But then it seems like you really push through. You do act, like, remember we talked about the proactiveness with 422? You really push through that time period with strength, and that strength leads to the confidence in the Seven of Swords. I do want to point this out. I don't see you with this other person really opening your heart up. I see them being proactive and like letting you know that they're into you, being very vocal about how they're attracted to you and that they want to see you, and you reciprocating and choosing to hang out with them. But I don't see you being like, oh yes, all my walls are down. Let's have an emotional, debrief and chat it all out. Not because of a distrusting thing. It's more just like right now in your time in life, it's easier for you to accomplish things if you act more strategically. If you're like, well, listen, I gotta like keep my energy intact, so I can't like just be all mushy gushy right now. I gotta get stuff done, if that makes sense. So there's a sense of empowerment. There's a sense of value of understanding what you want to keep away from people. It's being really tactful the way you accomplish things. So this is like very proactive in order to make this happen. But it seems like it's all swifting you towards the sense of indulgence when we have the Temperance card over here in reverse. This is I know in many other readings this is a negative thing, but for me this feels more like a comforting thing, like a well needed, much needed, totally fine time period where you're just kind of enjoying something, binging it, being gluttonous. And I'm saying this in a positive way, like, you just have a night where you just watch all your favorite shows, you don't do anything. Maybe you do this for a couple nights, and you're just eating fun junk food, and you're just kind of relaxing. You need it. You worked hard for this. So it's like you're powering through, you're gaining this confidence, you're gaining this sense of empowerment, control over your life, you're understanding yourself better. You feel like, I'm not saying things are rough, I'm saying that you have to overcome a certain mindset, and as you overcome it, it's not just like you feel inspired and happy one day. You're pushing through it and you get to this place, if that makes sense. And so you kind of debrief with this wonderful and time period of excess, and you're just enjoying it. This excess is a positive reminder of like, yeah, you're going to be okay. You're going to have money. You're going to be able to spend money in this way. You're going to have time to be able to do this. It feels very happy and relaxing. I do want to point out though, when we have the Wheel of Fortune, while this is a positive card and it is a positive thing, this does talk about the idea of that this excess is something that you have done in the past. This is like a common thing that's a repetitive cycle for you. Whatever you find you are drawn to that is like an old habit, or not an old habit, it's so hard to come up with metaphors when I can't like say certain things. Just understand that that is fine. That's how you'll, this is something it's your like go-to crux, so to speak. But I do want to point this out, that just be mindful that indulgence is a wonderful thing, not a bad thing, but don't let it become your consistent state of mind. Don't let it become a habit. Let it be something that you enjoy and kind of allow yourself to be in, but don't let it then dominate and take up the rest of your days, if that makes sense. So this is just kind of like a friendly reminder. Sorry about that. I had to go pick up a package, but I think I overall made the points I wanted to make. So get excited. You're going to definitely have people interested in you. You're going to have one stand out in particular who's kind of a little bored in life. You're going to change that. You are going to actively respond back to them. You're going to be down with whatever they're throwing down, whatever the term is. You're going to find yourself building in confidence and empowerment with both your own self-will, but with the support of your spirit guides. It's going to make things easier and more possible. And then you're going to kind of at the end of the month just have like a good time, relax, do something that it's like your all-time favorite past hobby. And yeah, overall just a nice month. So I'm excited for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, I am wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one. Let's get ready for group number 2. Two's good do. Group number 2. Let's look at the good things coming for you in April by looking at the cards. We have 4 of Cups upright, 2 of Pentacles in reverse, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, the Empress upright, and Queen of Wands upright. Huh. Okay, so I am seeing positive stuff, and I'm even getting the Angel 265, which makes complete sense here. But this is something I'm definitely going to need pull more cards for. I feel like I need to... Hold on, let me look at this real quickly to better understand what's going on here. Okay, well, why is that positive? Hold on. Let's find out, well, why is that positive before I go into that. What? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is a very positive message, but we need to talk about some things because clearly you need to know about it in order to continue this positive stuff. So I'm going to talk about some not great stuff, and you need to know about it in order to continue to receive the good stuff. So the main thing I want you to focus on is that when you have the angel number 265, this is just straight up positive blessings. This often involves some sort of like a position being given to you that gives you more money. But either way, it's just the idea of like good things are coming your way, positive changes are coming your way, accept it, get excited about it, have gratitude for it, woo, woo, woo. That's about it. It's very positive. And that makes sense over here. And we're going to get into more details with that. But this is kind of interesting to me because when we have the 2 of Cups in reverse, yes, can this refer to a romantic relationship completely? But this is a general reading, and more oftentimes than not, this could be a friendship situation. This is someone you're really close to either way. And it seems like things aren't aligning. They're not mashing up. The reason, when we have a 2 of Cups in reverse situation, this is when both people are not getting along because something's off. It's not just one party who is at fault for things not working out. Because on one hand, I have one person who is trying to protect themselves. This is a very defensive nature. 4 of Cups is someone who's like, okay, I just don't have this energy to give, so I'm emotionally closing myself off in order to protect myself from having more energy be taken away, more emotions taken away, where I just do not have that to give. But often that makes the other person feel closed out because they don't understand where you're coming from, they don't understand how they can help, and they feel more and more disengaged. This feels like you. But then we have the 8 of Pentacles. This kind of talks about how the other person involved in the situation isn't putting in their best effort to fix it. They're aware it's not working out and they could try, but they're not trying as hard as they can. So you have one person who's kind of pulling away and one person that's not trying hard enough for things to stick together. And I'm like, well, why do you need to know that? I'm trying to keep this positive. Well, how's that a positive thing? And interestingly enough, we have a total 180 over here. So I pulled some more cards. So how did I have them lined up like this? Okay. So this essentially talks about over here that, let me put it actually makes more sense if it's like essentially it's this. This is how it looks. These 3 cards together basically describe essentially an energy vampire. We have somebody who is self-defeated. Things aren't working out great for them. So because things aren't working out great, they're, definitely not as ambitious. they're like a total opposite of the free spirit. They're more pessimistic. We have someone who's defensive, kind of burnt out, and they seem to be putting all their attention towards Page of Swords. This is you. This is like you're at the beginning of your journey of positive reception. So this is when you're just finally hearing back that people like what you're doing, and you're getting some positive, people letting you know, like, yeah, we want to give you this position. Yeah, I like what you're doing. So sorry I got cut off. I just had a phone call and now I'm back. So anyways, back to what we were saying. So this is like positive reception. This is from people letting you know they like what you're doing. This is letting people know they're attracted to you. This is people saying, hey, what are you doing? Do you have anything you would like to promote? I'm down to purchase it, that kind of thing. So overall, very positive. And unfortunately, the state of mind this other person is in, it's an energy vampire thing, I'll be real. They kind of aren't interested in fostering the relationship to improve. Like, it feels like it takes too much effort. They just don't have that sort of energy at the moment, but they are interested in the energy you do have and what they can kind of get from you. When we have energy vampires, these are people that get us riled up. These are people that steal our attention, steal our emotions, and it feels like when they leave the situation, they're not really giving it a second thought. It's not really weighing on their mind. They don't really seem to have too much regret of what they're saying. While, for you feel like you were depleted a little bit. Now, the reason why you need to know about this is it looks like you are going to protect yourself. You are going to make the right moves. You're going to kind of cut that off. I don't see a definitive breakup if this is a relationship oriented thing or even end of friendship. It just feels like there is distance between you and them in order to protect yourself, which is a good thing. Now, the reason why it's a good thing that you know that is you need to do that because it's like they can sense on an unconscious level that this good stuff's coming your way. This feels more of like a middle of the month type of thing, if I'm being honest. So it's not going to come for a good 2 weeks into the month. But when it does, when we talk about this positivity, you want to kind of be able to handle it, receive it. When we're totally drained, sometimes we don't even know how to handle good stuff coming our way, or we're not in the right state of mind to be able to even acknowledge it's happening. So this is you kind of prepping down for 2 weeks, taking care of yourself. You're not really doing anything of note. You're just protecting yourself and it's not a place of stagnation. It's just a place of neutrality, if that makes sense. But then we have abundance. The Empress is amazing. The thing that's interesting about this is not the act of anything being one single act. The Empress is kind of a card I don't feel a lot of people know that they want, but they should, because she doesn't specifically talk about you having abundance and prosperity based on one concept. It's everywhere. So this often I find pops up when you go to order some food and you get unexpectedly doubles of your order. This is when you find some money on the ground. This is a lot of unexpected abundance, like we talked about, in many areas of your life. But this is not something that's going to, how do I express this? You don't need to do anything other than it's just kind of like it's your time to shine. It's coming your way. It's kind of a combination of chaos and good luck. It's just kind of the planets are aligning. It's just your time to shine. It's just kind of it was an inevitable positive leap your way. It's a time to take advantage of this is the best way I can put it. When we have these opportunities presented to us, when everything seems to be going with the flow, you want to kind of be able to, I feel like I'm speaking to it in metaphors, but the best way to put it is it's like suddenly realizing your wave has showed up and being like, I hope you have your surfboard because now is your time to take advantage of it. And you kind of distancing yourself from this type of toxicity is letting you know that's the right decision. Don't think that your month has started off badly. It's a positive thing because then it enables you to be ready for this. Now, when we do talk about abundance being everywhere in your life, just overall really, really positive, we do have the Queen of Wands. And the thing with the Queen of Wands here is, at first I thought this was a person. Often this takes the place of somebody who, like a woman figure who would represent like a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. But the thing is, This is definitely representing you receiving a sort of higher up leadership position, potentially a promotion of some kind, where you have experience in this thing. So this is a skill you already have, you're already aware of it, but this is somebody who now has the energy for it. They have the experience and the energy in order to make what they want happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you restore, you rejuvenate, you recharge. Suddenly you're blasted with all this energy, and then you're getting given direction. It seems like this really positive state of mind. It seems like it doesn't, you don't get things done at the end of the month, but you're starting to, if that makes sense. Like you're in the right state of mind in order to do that. As you move forward to that, it looks like it helps you deal with this sense of loss. It helps you deal with this situation, essentially. It gives you a peace of mind as well as a better perspective on the whole thing. And overall, it's just really positive. I'm really excited for you to get away from somebody so toxic and energy draining. I'm excited for you to kind of feel like you can look back at this situation and see it from a better, again, perspective, and be like, you're able to see the whole situation as a whole and be like, oh, that led to that, awesome. And of course, all the good things coming your way. The Empress, I can't stress this enough. This is like constantly finding little goodies and receiving little presents from the universe in every way, shape, and form, multiple times a day. So get excited. Don't question it. Just enjoy it. Receive it, like we talked about before. Anyways, if you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to give it a like, comment, subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's look at the good things coming for you in April by looking at the cards. We have Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We have Five of Swords upright, Page of Swords in reverse, the Hierophant upright, and the Magician upright. I love this. I love this so much. Oh, I love this so much. Okay, I'm so excited for you. This is going to come out in an unexpected way, but hang on for the ride because we have some good stuff to talk about. I'm going to describe this spread as, how do I put this? Finding the missing piece of your puzzle. Because here's the thing. The Magician card is like the card you want. It is about understanding that you have every single thing you need in every single way in order to make whatever you want to happen. It's truly magic. So you don't have to believe in magic to take it that way. It's just like, you know, when you're in the flow and everything seems to be going right your way? Well, that's not a coincidence. It's the universe being successfully manipulated by you, because you are connected to your inner self, you are connected to your body, you understand how to, deal with people, you get your unconscious, your consciousness. It's kind of everything, tangible, intangible, and understanding how it, you've got mastered it all, essentially. But oftentimes than not, we have things a little off in our life, and in little pieces and places. That's why the Magician card is like so fantastic, because we're not often in a place in our life where the right combination of things are understood in the right way in order for those things to come together. Usually it's a couple of different things, but for you it's just one thing. It looks like this month, over April, that you're going to be understanding, changing in a really positive way, and you're going to be excited because it's very low maintenance change. And then it's like, that's the final thing. It all comes together. It all positively manifests into something that I do want to point this out. While you will be experiencing this in April, what you do with that energy is going to you're going to see the results of it in the next month, if that makes sense. So you're going to enjoy it and see a little bit of the effect, but you're going to really actually see the full results the next month. But let's talk about how you get there. So over here is the main thing you're going to be experiencing, and you're going to want to be shifting. So when we have the Queen of Pentacles, did I say Cups? I meant Pentacles. Sorry. When we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, this is somebody who is helping other people, but in turn not helping themselves. So you're doing so well and you're in a positive position. So again, I always want to talk about reading between the lines when it comes with tarot. So this is the reassurance of like, you're good for money, you're good for energy. But the problem is you're going out of your way to help other people, but not also taking care of yourself and kind of putting yourself in the back burner, which can add up over the time. You'll be really happy to know it doesn't add up in this month. You're not going to see any consequences for it. But the main motivation behind what you're doing here is in the Five of Swords. This is wanting to win at all costs. So it looks like you're trying to achieve something and you're in this mindset of being like, okay, I'm going to get this goal or receive this position, or I'm going to get this opportunity by pushing really hard, over helping out other people. Maybe your boss is asking a lot of you at this time period. Whatever it is, it's this just energy of too much being asked of you, you feeling like you needed to fulfill it, not out of manipulation, but understanding what it could equal in the long term. But the thing is, it's not helping you at all. It's not bringing you closer to anything. It's not making you stagnant. It's more just draining you, and over time that can add up where you have nothing left to give and you're still being asked of, but you've trained yourself too much in the mindset of saying, no, X, Y equals Z. I have to do this. And what I mean by that is, if you believe in manifestation, law of attraction, you have to be mindful of your thoughts that if you think it takes a lot of work to get the thing you want, then it's going to take a lot of work to get the thing you want. I know a lot of people like to dissuade this or put this down, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the people who work smart and say, well, I shouldn't have to work hard to receive a lot of money, and then they're, enjoying their life with a lot of passive income and so on and so forth, it's because they put that precedent and belief system out there. So this is like you suddenly being aware of that and being like, oh, wait, what am I doing? Why am I asking of this of myself? Am I happy doing this? Not really. Again, nothing bad, nothing terrible. It's just suddenly being aware of what you're doing, whatever. Because then we have the Page of Swords. And when the Page of Swords in reverse is in between these two totally different vibes, it's a straight up card. This, I'll be honest with you, with the tone and having to describe it in this way, this is for sure your spirit guide going, no. What are you doing? Back off this energy. Stop it. What are you doing? It's not saying something bad's going to happen. It's just straight up the vibe of, get away from this. Stop doing this. Stop doing this energy. I will not let you forward and enjoy all this goodness if you don't get your head on straight, if that makes sense. So it looks like you are picking up on that, and I'm telling you now so you can focus on it. As you start to be aware of that and pull away, it looks like you go from helping others to isolating yourself. And especially with the Hierophant, this is somebody who's really grounded. They are just kind of taking some time to, again, like we said, be isolated. They are focusing on things like studying and self-improving through skills, through education. This is a lot of like meditating, a lot of like just reading books, and just taking a second to regroup, be alone, and kind of redefine themselves, so to speak. And by looking, and this is an important thing, the Hierophant is somebody who's going to look inward, especially when we have the Magician card in reverse. Upright, when we have these two cards, because the Magician card makes the invisible visible, if that makes sense. Because when we put all these different skills and mindsets, like we talked about the Magician, those are often a combination of tangible and intangible things, but I would argue skills themselves are like an intangible concept. It's like a concept that you can see the results of, but the skill itself is a concept. Does this make sense? I hope I'm making sense in this regard. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. So it looks like what happens is you take a dramatic shift and change, and you take some time for yourself, and you look inward, and you are not only finding a sense of that missing puzzle by just getting a chance to reconnect internally, but it's that realizing of this concept as a whole and realizing, wait, if I can choose how I want to receive my success, how I receive the good things in my life based on how I think it should go, like we talked about, I shouldn't have the mindset where I have to work harder. My mindset should be, oh, I should work easier, or I shouldn't be in a position where I'm at the mercy of others. Others should want to hear what I have to say. Because I just want to be clear something. Queen of Pentacles is fantastic, really loving, generous energy. That's who you are. You're in a position where you're being put in a reversal position, but when it's upright, Queen of Pentacles is someone who's very successful. So again, more positive things coming your way essentially, but it's somebody who is successful because they have the ability to make, again, we talk about the invisible becoming visible, making something out of nothing. They have the skills, they understand how to do things in the real practical world, you know what I'm saying? But they are somebody who likes to then share that wealth. They are somebody who's doing so well, but finds a certain sense of joy by giving that to others. They understand that by giving, they then therefore receive even more, if that makes sense. So it's like abundance on abundance on abundance, and it's with a really happy, loving kind of like community vibe, which is really fun. So, you see what I'm saying over here? You've got already great vibes. You're just kind of caught in a perspective for a second, and you have a certain sense of realization that leads you to the Magician card. So I'm very excited for you. Definitely, you can shorten this span. I just want to put this PSA out there. You can shorten this time frame the second you start noticing it. Like, let's say 2 days into the month, you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing? We talked about this. You can stop that and get closer to the Magician faster. This isn't a controlled thing. This isn't a set and fate thing. This is something that you can shorten as quick as you want to. But don't be surprised. Don't beat yourself up if for 2 weeks into the month, you don't notice that this is happening. And then by the time you do, you're like, oh, wait, I'm going to pull back now. It's very much that mindset, so to speak. Anyways, either way, I'm very excited for you because the Magician card basically is somebody who can ask for and manifest any single thing they want, whether it be a romantic partner, a job. I'm talking cool stuff out of the thin air, like a product you really wanted or something like that, or just some good vibes, whatever. So being able to think of it as the tool, like being able to be that thing that can facilitate it. It's not just the one-time good thing. It's like you can keep having it happen all you want, and it doesn't feel random. You can even control how you want it to come your way. So definitely look forward to that sort of control and positivity. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the video like you would not know or understand. You probably do. And either way, have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's look at the good things coming for you in April by looking at the cards. We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, or I'm so sorry, 8 of Cups in reverse. We have, whoa, the coolest Emperor card I've ever seen. Okay, loving this Emperor card in reverse. Okay, Page of Pentacles in reverse, 3 of Pentacles upright, and 2 of Cups upright. Interesting. Okay, this is interesting because, sorry, I'm looking at the angel number 421. Okay, so essentially, okay, this is kind of an interesting month for you because there is going to feel like a simultaneous time period of stagnation, like you're not moving forward, and yet there is a certain flow and movement and progression by not moving. I know that sounds super weird and answer my riddle and you can pass by the bridge. Okay, I gotta stop. Anyways, but hear me out. It's a really good thing. Understand that I find as I've read tarot more and more and more over time, life has a funny way of expressing itself as a form of a metaphor. Sometimes, now this is not like a life lesson you're learning. This is positive stuff we're about to talk about. There's nothing bad going to happen to you. I just want to be clear about that. But I just want you to take something valuable from this. The way things happen, like if you were to describe them as a story, they often, you were living your own allegory, if that makes sense. And it feels like the life lesson, I guess you could say, life lessons seem very intense. Sometimes they involve bad things. This is not a bad thing. This concept you're understanding is the best way I can put it, is that you don't always need to get a new position, find a new partner, move somewhere new, and in order to still grow. growing can be in different forms, in ways that are harder to measure, and don't even location-wise go anywhere, which is really interesting. So it's a really fun thing that you're going to be like, you can acknowledge if you want. Either way, we're going to talk about the actual things happening to you. So this is where it gets really fun, and you're going to enjoy this, but you need to understand where you're coming from this month. So when we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is somebody who they can take on a couple different energies. So I'm going to explain them all because this is a general reading. This can be somebody who keeps trying to self-improve and do different things, and it just doesn't ever feel like they're progressing. So therefore, even though they seem like they're moving around a lot, they're actually not. They kind of feel stuck no matter their effort, which is such a not fun feeling, especially considering how much effort's being put in. This can be someone who has a fear of moving on. They don't feel like they can potentially progress, whatever that fear or reason of fear is. Or this could be somebody who is having a hard time accepting whatever cards they've been dealt. So they feel stuck because they're kind of avoiding it and not acknowledging it, instead of saying, okay, this is what happened. I can either find gratitude or acknowledge it in order to then understand the best plan of action in order to move forward, to understand. So we got a couple different things going on, choose what you feel most connected to. You see what I'm saying? But you understand the idea of trying to move around but not being able to, essentially. And most of this is motivated from the Emperor. The Emperor is somebody who feels the need to control. They think it will make things better if they know where everything is and when it happens and how it's done. And it's this sense of, oh, I have some form of control if I take on this state of mind, as we discussed over here in the Eight of Cups in reverse. But in reality, the Emperor is blinded by his control. He doesn't understand that the more he controls, the more he's almost covering up the source of the problem. Because the Emperor upright is somebody who understands, if you build a solid foundation, if you really get it set in stone, you don't budge on your beliefs or whatever you want to have standard-wise moving forward, you can really build something solid and has a lot of longevity to it. But in reverse, it's somebody who's like sweeping things under the rug and putting band-aids over really big cracks that need to be properly sealed with cement, if that makes sense. So by focusing on this mindset, it's like a form of trying to feel like you have some sort of grounding, false grounding, by feeling like you have some sense of control, if that makes sense. Now, when we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, this is kind of, I'll be honest with you, this is definitely your spirit guide coming in, the tone of it. It's very much letting you know, now is not a time to start anything new. Now is not a time for you to get started on that project. If you've been thinking to look for a new job, this is just not your time. You're not in the best state of mind right now, and so nothing will come of it, and why put yourself through more disappointment, which will then cause you to fall back on what your current belief system is now. This is a belief system that you think is protecting you. Now, with all that said in mind, I know it's a little rough to hear, yet we have all of this. When we have a Three of Pentacles situation and a Two of Cups, this is you being quite social, but social through not purely like hanging out and partying. This is somebody who is working with other people and is able to understand that by sharing and connecting with others, all of your ideas can melt together to build something new, there's something beneficial. By responding with other people, there's a lot of fruitful interaction, like getting something you didn't know you needed by just interacting and feeling excited with interacting with these people and building things and understanding it's not just about you. That I'm not, just to be clear, that tone is not saying that you are in the least selfish, but when you have this mindset, you're very inwardly looking into yourself. You're not able to see and connect to other people, which in turn subconsciously makes you feel more disconnected, more alone, more hopeless. That's not always the case. I just want to be clear. It's not bad to look inwards or, try to self-improve. But in this case, you're basically getting the opposite by having this sort of interaction. It's something you didn't know you needed, so to speak. Over here with Two of Cups, yes. Can this refer to someone romantic? Completely. But it can also refer to friendship. This is somebody who is benefiting emotionally by a combination of someone who's equally returning their energy. So whatever you're giving back to this person, they're giving it right back. They're giving you back the equal amount of respect, attention, love. It's an extremely, extremely positive omen, whether this be a romantic interaction or a friendship interaction. But it seems like you're going to have a deep, fruitful friendship or romantic interaction from this like team building thing. So it's like you understand the group and you get one perspective of ideas building, concepts working. It's very mechanical. It's very like engineer. It's very intellectual. You know what I mean? Building something from it, but bringing it into the real world. But then it gets a little more nuanced, emotional from that group. There's someone you really connect with there, and it seems like you start to explore and feel like you can truly be yourself because somebody is treating you with that sort of respect, and they can feel like they can truly be themselves, and you're better understanding how people can work together in a positive, beneficial way. You're exchanging positive emotions and ideas and being very open, and you're able to grow and better understand emotions and human connection on a deeper note because they're giving you that equal amount of all the things we discussed before, like respect and love and stuff like that. So there's all this growth and understanding, but it's not measurable the way we want out of just basic self-improvement. It's like you want to feel, if you deal with anxiety, you want to feel, relaxed. If you feel like you're struggling for money, you want to see that money coming in. So yeah, this is a different form of it, but it's teaching you it can come in different ways. And I'll be honest with you, this is what you secretly need right now. So if you're wondering why other things aren't coming your way, it doesn't mean they're not going to come your way. It just means that right now, you're getting what you need in order to then be able to positively manifest and attract the other things you need. The best way I can put it is like, maybe you think you need more money, but in reality, you need a hug. Does that make sense? You're getting fuel for your car before you get to the destination. I know you want to go to the destination, but if you don't have tires, how are you going to get there? So think of this as your tires. Think of this as your fuel. You're going to really have a nice time. You're going to feel really relaxed taking a mental break from this type of perspective. And you'll just, have a lot of ideas going around being built. I'll just be honest, a potentially romantic, nice exploration. But I'll be honest with you, the main thing I want you to focus on is April is a type of human connection and sort of understanding that you can grow in different immeasurable ways, outside of just purely the people. Like you might have a new romantic partner, but that's not the main thing you're going to be getting this month. You're going to be understanding bigger ideas. It's very much like higher consciousness sort of like connection mentality you have this month. So I'm very excited for you. That's a really powerful feeling because when you're going through that type of vibe, you're both getting the benefit of what's actually happening in this real world in front of you, but also getting something so much more deeper, fulfilling that you didn't know you needed out of it at the same time. So yay, very exciting. I'm very excited for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.